My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about The Giver, written by Lois Lowry. Now, before I go into the summary analysis of this novel, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. In this novel, we're introduced to Jonas. Jonas is an individual that lives in a society that is completely the same. And what I mean by that is Jonas lives in a society where everyone does the same thing. Everybody is conditioned, everybody is expected, everybody is trained from the minute that they're born to the minute that they die to be the same exact individuals. These individuals that exist in the giver, they don't see colors, they don't process emotions the way that a regular person would. Everything is regulated. In the novel, there is this council of elders, and the elders decide everything for the community. They decide who you marry, they decide who your kids are, and you don't have kids. They select who has kids within the society. So every single part of life is judged and determined by the elders. Everything that you do, how you behave in school. So if you're in school, if you do anything bad, they watch you. If you do anything good, they watch you. They watch adults, kids, they watch who you're compatible with. So when it comes time for you to get married, they decide who you get married to. So every single part of your life is determined. There's even this one instance within the novel where Jonas, he's about 12 years old and he starts to get feelings of lust, and basically there's pills that you give to individuals, so when they feel lust or they feel attraction to other people, you give them the pill and the lust is gone. So your emotions, your natural urges, everything about you is controlled, is determined, and you have to walk a straight line. Within the novel, we get introduced to the ceremony of 12. It's a very big thing within the novel. It's a very big thing within the community of the giver. And what happens during the ceremony of 12 is that every 12-year-old gets selected to do a certain job, to get a certain assignment within the society. And the elders watch you from the time you're a kid to the time you're 12 to figure out what is the best job, what is the best assignment for you. So certain girls are selected to be like mothers or birth mothers. So their job within the society is to make as many kids as they can. Not all women get to have children, and even the birth mothers or the mothers, as soon as they give birth to the kids, they don't get to raise them. They don't get to be their mothers because those kids are then given out to different families. So Jonas, um, his father might not be his father, his mother might not be his mother. We don't know what kids belong to who. No one really knows who their biological parent is, or parents are. It's just everybody is separated, everything is decided for you. There's no choice within this society. And so during the ceremony of 12, all the kids, that all of Jonas's friends, everybody he knows, they all are given jobs, they all are separated, they all are given their place within society. Jonas is given a special job as the receiver, and he's going to be working with the giver, who is this elder within the society that holds all of the society's emotions and dreams and everything that is painful, everything that deviates from the norm, the giver holds. And in the novel, Jonas is selected to be the new receiver. And what the receiver is that the giver is going to be passing on all of the world's dreams and all of the world's bad emotions and bad anything that's bad, any memory that's bad, even the good things too. All of the world's memories is given on to the receiver, and Jonas is selected to be the new receiver, and so he begins working with the giver within the novel to get all of the world's memories and all of the world's emotions. So the novel goes on, and the world is just bleak. It's a black and white world. Everything is gray. Even the grass is gray. So Jonas starts working with the giver. Everything is going well. Everything is happening fine. He starts to get wonderful dreams and emotions and memories. Like he feels snow for the first time. He sees a sled for the first time. He feels sunlight, but he gets these good memories and these good things about knowing the real world, these good aspects of it. But at the same time, he sees war for the first time. He sees blood for the first time. He sees the things that are horrific, the things that make human life very dark, So, it's a lot to take in. And Jonas asks the giver within the novel, why can't everybody share the memories and the emotions? There's good parts and bad parts. Why can't we just all share it? The load would be lighter for everybody. But the giver tells him, like, we can't do that. The society doesn't want to carry on memories or carry on emotions. We don't want to do that as a society. We don't want to share them. That's why every year or every once in a while we select a new receiver when the giver is about to die, to carry on the world's problems basically, or the society's problems basically. And so Jonas, he starts to not like the world that he lives in, because the more he sees the memories, the more he sees the emotions, or the more he processes the emotions that the giver is putting into his mind, the more he starts to become dissatisfied with the world that he lives in. The more he doesn't like it. He tries to connect with different people, or his old friends, and he really can't connect with them because by this time they're fully processed, and they're a cognitive machine within the world of the giver, and they just, whenever he tries to show them his world or try to connect with them, they just see him as strange because he's deviating from the norm within the society. So Jonas, he gets very dissatisfied with his life, and what happens next is very significant because throughout the novel, there's this baby by the name of Gabriel that Jonas's father brings into the house, and Jonas's father, he's what is called a nurturer within the novel. And nurturers, they are these individuals that take care of babies when they're born, and they watch them as they, from the time they were born until the time where they're given to another family. And Gabriel, this baby, he's just not, he doesn't fit into what the society expect. He doesn't act the way that the society expect. And so the job of the nurturer, if there is a baby that doesn't conform to the society's rules and expectations, you're supposed to kill that baby. So the giver shows Jonas this video of his father killing babies, and you really shouldn't kill babies. And so Jonas is extreme. This is appalling. This is horrific to Jonas. And he learns within the novel that his dad is going to kill Gabriel and release Gabriel, because Gabriel, this baby that his dad brought home, is not behaving properly. And the other thing that's extremely important here, within the novel, you're going to hear the word release a lot. Whenever they say somebody's going to be released, that just means that they're going to execute that person. They execute babies, they execute old people, they execute people that are not doing what they tell them. Anybody that doesn't fit into the idea of sameness, they execute them. So Gabriel was next in line, and Jonas is like, I'm not going to stand for this. This society is horrible. No one has any emotions. No one has any identity. It's all about sameness. The elders decide everything, and I'm sick and tired of this life. Jonas tries to get the giver to run away with him and leave the society behind. If they do this, the society will have to face emotions and dreams and bad things and good things by themselves, and everybody would have to face their own darkness and goodness in life. And the giver tells Jonas, you can run away, but I don't want to run away. And so Jonas, during this one night, he grabs Gabriel. He grabs Gabriel and his father's bike. For some reason, everybody in this novel moves around in bikes for some reason. There's not really, I don't know why, but adults and kids, they move around in bikes, and you have to reach a certain age to get the bikes. Everything is determined by age and by status. So Jonas steals his father's bike. He goes by the river, and he leaves. He leaves this society. He leaves town. He escapes, and the society goes into panic. Everybody is like, "What happened to Jonas? What happened to Gabriel? They're breaking the rules." They send machines after them. They search for them. They search the hillsides for them. They didn't catch up to him, and at the end of the novel, Jonas finds this sled that he rides down on, and he feels real snow for the first time, not memory snow or dreamlike snow. And he finds this outside society away from his society, and he thinks that, or you, the reader, thinks that, okay, Jonas is going to be fun. He found real people that have real things such as fire and sunlight and real snow. So that's the way that the novel ends, and let's talk about the analysis and the deeper meanings within this novel. One thing you have to keep in mind here is that the people within this novel, they don't have identities. Everybody is supposed to be the same thing. So there's no true happiness, there's no love, there's no sadness. I understand that you would want to get rid of the horrible things in life, the depressing things in life. But at the same time, they get rid of snow. Snow can be treacherous at times, but at the same times, it can be very. It can be beautiful and something that you can enjoy too. Snowfall or fresh snowfall is something that's very pleasant to walk through or to just be in the presence of. And the fact that the people in the society, they've rejected natural sunlight. Everybody loves a wonderful, warm, sunny day, but they don't know what sunlight is. They don't know what a warm, sunny day is. They don't know what snow is. They don't know what, even the weather they try to control. They do everything to control, you know, the world around them so that everybody could be the same and so that there could be no pain, there's no racism, there's no skin color, there's no difference whatsoever. So within the society, everybody's bred and conditioned to be exactly the same thing, which, yes, there's no crime, there's no problems, there's no instability, there's no governmental instability. When everything is decided for the society, everything runs perfectly and everybody's surviving. But at the same time, you give up on things like love and passion and your emotions. So everybody within the society is kind of like a robot. And when Jonas processes emotions and dreams and memories for the first time, he sees that the world that he lives in is bleak and something that's not worth living. Because once he starts to work with the giver, he starts to see things like grass and sunlight, and those things are beautiful to him. And the novel ends in a good place. So this novel really teaches us a lot about identity and the world that we live in the world that we live in, even though that the world is not perfect and it's very dark. But we really shouldn't give up the things, our identities, and we shouldn't give up the simple things in life just because the world is dark from time to time. The human experience is about all of that. It's about sadness, happiness, joy, and grief. All of that is about the human experience. That's why novels and literature and movies and video games, everything that you do, everything that you enjoy involves all types, the whole spectrum of human emotion. So if you get rid of parts of it, you ruin the rest of it, because how can you know joy if you don't know sadness? So that is my summary analysis of The Giver by Lois Lowry. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.